It really does create this kind of like happy, warm environment in such an awful place and such an awful circumstance. And it makes it almost scary, you know?
Oh, sisters, let's go down. Let's go down. Come on down.
I've got to tell you, the singing in episode 2 was like such a bright spot in what is such a dark show. Is that both of you guys singing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I had no idea that we were going to be making music of any kind. I knew that Jerry's character, that character would be singing because she's a musician, but I had no idea. But, you know, luckily we all sound good together. We all have very interesting voices and they fit. So it was a lot of fun.
David too, like from the scripts that we've been receiving recently, I think that he's just super into incorporating music into the show, which is one of my favorite things. But there is going to be a lot more music, not just from our characters. He's starting to incorporate it with other characters as well. And it really does create this kind of like happy, warm environment in such an awful place and such an awful circumstance. And it makes it almost scary, you know? It makes it almost weird, but then you're like, but they're so cute. And then you're like, also like, this is very weird.
Down in the river to pray.
You girls have been put through the ringer and we're only a few episodes in. Have you learned any new skills yourselves because your characters have had to go through such a crazy experience?
I can get out of handcuffs and ankle cuffs with a shoelace.
You for sure can now? That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not fast. It's not a fast thing, but the props, they gave me the ankle cuffs to take home as well as shoelaces. So I was able to practice and look up YouTube videos and figure it out. So that's a party trick that I got now.
I just want to sit back and let Jade like take the wheel. I mean, if anything happens to a character, it's happened to Grace. And I think that Danielle just is kind of like, she'll take the beating. So I'm just so impressed by Jade. Seriously, on the show, David has really just given her such this crazy character, this dynamic character, and really you have done everything. So it's really cool to sit back and just see how you take it in and just kill every second of every scene.
I feel, okay, also episode 5 for Danielle is a huge episode. You know, I think that your arc in particular is just incredible, and the way you take her on is beautiful too. So
arc,
all of the love.
Hi, Mom. Just calling to remind you. Text us when you get there.
The two of you have such a realistic sisterly bond. So I'm curious to know, how did you guys bond together on set in order to find that on-screen connection? Jade?
I kind of just got really lucky with Natalie in the sense that our chemistry was just already there, you know, and, you know, with COVID and everything, it's definitely a different world and cast bonding looks a little bit different these days, but I felt like it was so easy. Every time we stepped on set, it just instantly felt like this sisterhood was built.
And I have 2 younger sisters too, and I've told Jade several times that she's just now like one of the sisters. I mean, like she said, with COVID and everything, it's such a weird experience because you're not allowed to hang out with your co-stars off set. And when you're on location, that's such a crucial part of being able to have those connections. But like she said, I think it was just that thing where we just like hit it off instantly. Because we were originally going to be filming this back in March. Mm-hmm. And even then it was, I saw her on the plane. I was like, hey, I'm your sister. Nice to meet you. You're going to get so tired of me.
Never.
Nat, I was going to say, I bet you wish your Big Sky character had the powers that your gifted character Lauren had right about now to get out of this.
Yeah, this entire show would have been a lot easier. Lauren Strecker would have tackled Ronald's ass by now, for sure.
And Jade, you and I connected when we did the Rapid Fire Little Fires Everywhere event at ET, which was so much fun. And since then, everyone has become obsessed with the Richardsons, and they're dying to know if this limited series could parlay into a second season. What do you think? What are the thoughts?
Ooh, who knows? I mean, you know, I'm the last to know these things. I know these things when you know. So who knows? But I mean, I really love that group, and it was really incredible to work with such passionate artists who were really just passionate about telling that particular story. So I'd love to explore that again. I'd be into play Lexi again.
We all are like, yeah.
I love it.
I'm like, do you keep in contact with your on-screen mama? Please tell me. You can just text Reese.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, I ask her so many questions and see how she's doing. And, you know, she's such a warm, like generous little mama bear in real life too. So I'm really lucky that the whole cast has been keeping in touch, which is really important.
Well, circling back to Big Sky, in the last episode, Grace got a fleeting taste of freedom. What was it like to film that episode? And how's your leg doing, girl?
Leg is okay. It's all right. You'll see in the next episode that it gets a little complicated, a wound when you're stuck in a trailer. Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, it was such an incredible sequence to film. Gwyneth Porter-Payton, our director, she was definitely a really important leader in that whole sequence because it's so physically tolling, but also just emotionally, like staying in that headspace and creating that as authentically as possible was just incredible. And I was really lucky to have John, Carol Lynch, and Gwyneth sort of like as a unit really create this space as intense as it was. And yeah, it was just an incredible experience. It was shooting in the snow and all of that, but it was definitely worth it.
Nat, I'm curious because we've seen Grace take the lead so much. She's got all these random facts and she's kind of known what to do. But now that she's injured, are we going to see your character have to kind of like step up?
In a way.
Oh.
In a way. I don't like our characters, like before we started filming, I think that me and Jade sat down and had a conversation about how we felt our relationship would be. And I really do feel like it's kind of that funny thing. I feel like Danielle is almost like the comedic relief. She's extremely just insensitive and selfish a little bit, if you haven't been able to tell. So I think that she does continue down that path a little bit for longer. But at some point, yeah, I think that this entire experience, I mean, at the beginning of this, my entire goal for the end of the show and how I wanted her to be later on was to learn from the experience and not just have it be something that happened to her. And I really do think that, I mean, that's going to happen. I don't know how much I can say, but yeah, I'm hoping that she does step up into more of a leadership position sometime soon.